guys want to take some photos with coaches with the trophies? With the trophy for a second, and then we'll bring student athletes in. So if you guys want to take photos with the coaches, you guys want to come up close to the trophy, like around it? Yeah, Shaddy, that's right.
Blaine up there? No Carson.
Come over here. Shaddy, Shaddy. You got it.
Well, if you'd have told me that when we were starting pitching,
You would have relaxed.
yeah, it would have. I'd been a little better off. Good. All right. We good?
Did we mess up?
Do you want us to sit down?
Yeah. Did we have a change?
Yeah.
Are we changing anything?
Yeah, Blaine.
Oh,
We got it.
Do you want us to stay?
yeah, y'all can sit. Guys can come in.
Yeah. When you get you're caught in that deal when you got all those days off where you don't, you go, should we practice? No, you guys had one where you got pushed because of rain, huh?
First game. We had one day, we were at the ballpark, our first game, we were here 12 hours. Then the next time we played, the second game, we were here 5 times.
Okay, once again, repeat the rules again. No flash photography. And please take off your hats, guys. Okay. And we'll start with a statement from the coaches. Coach Van Horn, would you start, please?
Sure, just what an honor to be here. Obviously, just real proud of the players throughout the season for being so resilient and just pulling for each other. It's been fun to watch. It's fun to be a part of. The whole College World Series experience has been incredible. Congratulations to Coach Casey and his team. Had the opportunity to watch him a few times here as well as throughout the season. Just really intrigued, how a team last year went through the season, only lost 5 or 6, 7 games all year, and pretty much duplicated it again this year. So I'd try to catch them on TV when I could. Their games would come on a little later than ours, get to catch them at night, and knew they'd be here, hoping we'd have an opportunity to be here. And once we got here, watched them play and just told Pat that I figured that they'd fight their way through like they did. And I think it's going to be a great series.
Okay, Pat?
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be here and represent Oregon State University. And congratulations to Arkansas Dave and his club. They're outstanding. They've been terrific from start to finish. And, I think anytime you knock off the defending champion, it says something about your club. So, we know that this is going to be a heck of a series. Proud of our guys and the way they've handled themselves as a team, the things that we've built. And knowing that, a lot of those kids won't be here next year makes it even more special. But like I say, when I come here every year, anybody that has that opportunity to play in the College World Series, in my opinion, gets to play in the greatest sporting event in our country. So I know, speaking on behalf of myself, the rest of the staff, Oregon State University, and our players, that it is truly a thrill to be here.
Okay, let me introduce the players that we have up here. Blaine Knight, a junior pitcher from Bryan, Arkansas, there on the end. Carson Shaddy, the senior second baseman from Fayetteville, where he played for the Purple Bulldogs. I always get that mixed up with the Red Bulldogs. Nick Madrigal, the junior second baseman of the Beavers from Elk Grove, California. And Adley Rutschman, sophomore catcher for the Beavers from Sherwood, Oregon. Let's open it up for questions for the student athletes. Once again, we'll get a mic to you. Either Jen or Suzanne will get it to you. Raise your hand, and we'll get started with, we'll start down here with Alec.
Alec Kebakungan with Shriners Hospitals for Children, reporting on behalf of Baseball America. Nick, many people say that baseball is a game of failure, and that to be successful, you need to regularly overcome obstacles. What advice can you give to an aspiring D1 athlete on overcoming adversity to ultimately find yourself in Omaha?
Yeah, there's always going to be people, negative people in the world, whether you're in, baseball or other sports or in life. For me, at a young age, I set goals. And there's a lot of people along the way that told me I was too small or couldn't do things. But I was so determined to, reach my goals and not worry about anything anyone else said. And I worked every single day for those goals. And, I still have goals to this point. I wouldn't worry about, what other people think out there. If you want something bad enough, you're not going to worry about the other people. So, I think, if you set goals and, work for them, I think, everything else will kind of take care of itself.
Okay, right here.
Adley, obviously growing up in Sherwood, you've seen what Pat's been able to build there, and were you in first grade, second grade when they last won it? Yeah. Just to be on the stage, obviously what your grandpa's all taught you, and just to be here, can you take yourself back to being a kid and looking at them on TV, and now here you are?
Yeah, growing up, you watch the Oregon State program, you kind of figure out what it's all about, and from a young age, I really wanted to go to Oregon State. That's really the only place I, ever set a goal of going to, and when I got the opportunity to play here, seeing what the previous teams had done with winning 2 national championships back to back, and just to be able to get an opportunity to go here twice, and now play for another national championship, I feel very fortunate just to be with the team that we have here, and just the guys and the character that they all have around them. It's something special, and I'm just really excited to be a part of it.
Just a reminder, please identify yourself and to whom you're asking the question. Start over with Tom.
Yeah, Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Questions for Blaine. What have you been able to see of Oregon State so far? What do you think of their lineup, and have you gotten a glimpse of them here?
They can obviously swing it really, really well, and top to bottom, they're really solid. And I don't have a plan yet with Coach Johnson. I'm gonna get with him later this afternoon and get some stuff together. But I'm really looking forward to it. They're all around really solid team.
Okay, next question. Yeah, Tom again.
I'd like to ask this of the Oregon State players. What you've seen of the Arkansas pitching staff, have you gotten to look at them since you've been here?
Nick, you start.
We've caught briefly some of their games on TV. They're all around, a really good team. They throw the ball in the zone. They mix up different speeds. Haven't got into scouting reports yet. We'll probably do that later on today and go more in depth of, different plans, what to look for. But yeah, we've caught some games on TV briefly, and it's going to make for a really good series. We're excited to, get out there tomorrow. I'm sure the crowd's going to be buzzing like it has been the last couple of games. But yeah, we're definitely excited to get it going.
Adley?
Just what Nick said, to get to this point, it's not easy, and I think it's a real testament to their team. Obviously they have a lot of great players on the team. They swing the bat well, and, they pitch well. So I think everyone's just excited at this point to, have, enjoy a great series and, have the opportunity to play for a national championship.
Okay, we'll go in the back over here. Jim?
John Neatel with the Omaha World Herald. Nick Adley said that he grew up wanting to play for Oregon State. When did the Beavers kind of flash on your radar?
Yeah, growing up, my whole family's always been a baseball family. I've watched baseball from a really young age. I would honestly say not until probably freshman year of high school, probably 8th grade. I had a close friend that went to the same high school, Jake Rodriguez. He caught on the 2013 team. I looked up to him. He went to the same high school. He was the best player around, and when I saw him in a Beaver uniform, I kind of fell in love with it and once I, got up to Corvallis for myself, yeah, I immediately knew that's the place I wanted to be and wanted to, the program I wanted to win for. So yeah, I'd probably say not until 8th grade when I, got on campus, checked out, the facilities, talked to the coaches. Yeah, I knew that's the place where I wanted to be.
Okay, Blair?
Blair Kirkhoff with the Kansas City Star. Pat, can you speak to the level of resolve it takes to win 4 straight elimination games, and can that serve you well going into the final series?
We're going to hold on coaches'
I'm sorry,
questions.
either of the players. I'm sorry.
Okay. Nick, you start, please.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't thought too much about elimination games or, being, we've taken every single game, we've approached the same all year long, no matter if we're in Omaha or a regular season game. We've tried to go out there and be aggressive and not worry about how many games we have to win to get to this point or anything like that. The coaches do a great job of telling us just to stay in the moment, take it one pitch at a time, play our game, and, and then hopefully the rest will take care of itself. And, it has to this point. Or moving forward, we're going to take it the same like we would any other game.
Adley?
Yeah, when you lose the first game, seeing the task ahead, I think it's really important to just take everything, one step at a time, one game at a time, one pitch at a time. I think our team has a lot of great guys who, who've been here before, who've overcome obstacles. And I think for us, we really had to come together there to win those 4 games. And, I'm just really proud of what our team's been able to accomplish so far.
Okay, Mitch in the back. Or is it? No, it's not Mitch.
Howard Borden, KOTK Omaha. Congratulations to both teams and coaching staffs. This would be for Carson, Blaine, and Nick and Adley. Guys, maybe for Arkansas first, what have you learned about your team when you started in September with your fall ball and your inter-squad games and building through everything and all the things you did during tough conference play, postseason play to get to this point right now? Maybe reflect on your team, your style, and what it means.
Blaine, we'll start with you and just come across.
Yeah, from early on in the fall, you could kind of tell this team was going to be special, especially we put everything together. And, we played like we're supposed to play. And, we really showed a true testament what this team was, especially when we ran into Mississippi State when they were really hot and they swept us. And, we didn't, it didn't get us down. We bounced right back, and every time we got punched in the mouth, it bounced back. So just a true testament how mentally tough this team is and how good we are.
Carson.
Yeah, just along the lines that what Blaine was saying, just how tough, mentally tough we are. We've got a lot of older guys on this team, and we've had a bunch of expectations, and I think that all the older guys really showed the younger guys that expectations are just opinions, and the only thing that matters is what we do in the dugout and on the field. And that's kind of driven us, I think, and I truly believe that. And the talent shows. We've got guys on the lineup, the whole lineup 1 through 9 that can do it. And then the guys on the mound, the 3 starters are all studs, and then our bullpen as well. So, it's been a really good season. We're really happy to be here, and we're looking forward to the matchup against Oregon State.
Nick.
Yeah, I think, ever since day one, we knew we were returning a lot of the same core group of guys from last year that went through everything we did. We were excited to get together. We knew we had a lot of freshmen coming in that could help us out a lot, and, we got to give them a lot of credit. Like Kevin Abel pitching yesterday, that's probably one of the biggest starts of his career, and he did awesome for us. And we've really bonded. We've brought in the freshmen, kind of try to tell them to relax and play the same game. They're at Oregon State for a reason, and we've known from day one that they could help us out. And this team's really, really closely bonded. From the first day I stepped on campus. With the seniors I had from my freshman year, it seems like a family atmosphere. That's the way Oregon State is, and we're excited from day one about this season, and hopefully we can keep it rolling. But we have a lot of great guys on the team.
Adley.
Coming in day one, we had a lot of the same guys as last year, but with the new freshman group, a lot of different personalities coming in, and you don't really know how it's going to mesh. But and you know that sometimes the freshman guys, the new guys are going to have to step up in difficult situations and see how they respond. And I think that I think our older guys did a great job of accepting all the new guys, and guys like Kevin Abel and Christian Chamberlain, all the guys who've had to really step up in the College World Series have really made huge strides from the beginning of the season. And and I think that they've done a really great job of stepping up mentally, and even when they're not feeling great, they don't have their stuff. And I think that just as a team, we're really closely bonded, and that's probably the biggest reason that they've been able to step up.
Okay, right here.
Ken Go with the Oregonian for both Oregon State players. You guys have played a lot of games in a short period of time. How are you holding up physically and mentally?
Adley, you start.
The first game was a pretty hot one for us, but we weren't able to win that. But just kind of moving forward, you got a lot more games in the losers bracket, and you got to kind of just stick with the same mentality. Whether the weather affects you or not, or feeling sore and tired. We got guys pitching on very little rest, and coming up back-to-back days and whatnot. So just trying to keep that focus on the the end goal and what we're really working towards. And it's a short season right now, and very few games left, so I think guys realize that, it's kind of all or nothing from this point, and we're just kind of focusing on ourselves and what we need to do.
Nick?
Yeah, during the off season, we didn't wake up at 6 a.m. every other day and out there all day at practice to, be tired at the end of the season where we want to be. So we've put in all the work during the off season to this point. There's really no time to be tired. Everyone here, I'm sure, is, not feeling completely healthy or whatever it may be. But, the coaches have got that message across to us. But, if you're going out there and you're not, so you're probably not playing as hard as you can, But, yeah, we're feeling good right now. We're excited for the matchup, and, we're going to take it, one step at a time.
Here in the back.
Matt Jones, Arkansas Democrat Gazette for Carson and Blaine. You guys are used to playing 4 and 5 games a week, but you've had a lot of downtime here. I wonder, how have you managed that, and is there an anticipation, for kind of getting back into a normal routine this week?
Carson, you start.
Yeah, for sure. We've had a lot of downtime. We really just try to get our bodies right. That's the most important thing, because we got a big 3 games coming up, and it's. We've spent a lot of time in the hotel watching games. We watched their games last night and the night before, and just kind of taking it easy.
We have a question up here from Alec. I'm sorry, Blaine, go ahead.
No, to piggyback off what Carson said, yeah, we have had downtime. It's just mainly just recovering, getting our bodies ready to go for this series coming up, and because we know it's not going to be easy and it's going to take every bit of energy we got.
Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Come up here with Alec.
Carson, when you were growing up, I'm sure one of your goals was to play in the Little League World Series. Then your goal shifts to winning a state championship for your high school. And now when you set foot on campus, your goal was to get to Omaha. As you take a step back, has it sunk in that you are living a dream that so many guys share, but few get to experience here this week?
Yeah, it's kind of incredible, just what you're saying. There's just a very few amount of guys that get the chance to play for a national title, and the whole high school scene is a little bit more attainable. And lucky enough, I got to play for a state championship, and we won my senior year. And when you come to school, that's definitely the main goal. If you're not a D1 athlete and you don't have that goal, you probably shouldn't be playing. So, but now that we're actually in the conversation to put that banner up in 2018, it's pretty incredible, and we're really excited.
Okay, here in the middle.
Scotty Borderline, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. Carson and Blaine, I was curious if you guys could speak to how Casey Martin's speed can change a game.
Blaine?
Yeah, I mean, Marty's really, I mean, he's a incredible athlete. You know, I mean, you saw the ball he hit the other night that was a little chopper back up the middle, and he beat it out, and it ended up putting up, I mean, being a RBI for us, and so which gave us another run, a little more cushion. So, yeah, his speed plays in really well, and I think it helps him defensively as well. He moves really well over at third base and is able to make some really tough plays look easy.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. I think anytime you can get all the Arkansas football players all over Twitter saying how fast that kid is, that's a pretty true testament to how fast he really is. You know, that kid's the best athlete I've ever been around. You know, it's scary. He's just a freshman. Seems like he's always in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And, you know, his speed, like he said, is just absolutely incredible. He's the fastest guy I've ever seen and played with for sure.
Okay, Teddy, you had a question? It'll be the last one for the student athletes.
Shaddy Cahill, Baseball America. Carson, just from where this team was a couple years ago, where you guys finished not making the tournament, just what's happened, what's allowed you guys to go in just 2 years to be on this stage now?
Yeah, you know, after the 2015 season, when we came to Omaha, the 2016 season I think that we were kind of a little bit on our high horse, and we might have not worked as hard as we needed to and whatnot, and some of the things that they didn't go back and go our way, you know. But just coming back after that and going through the worst has really put a lot of pressure on us to perform at our best, and I think that's what's happened the last 2 years, trying to climb back up and to where we need to be, and to get back in the NCAA tournament.
Guys, thank you, congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll wait for them to clear, and then we'll have questions for the coaches. Okay, we'll start here. Alec, we'll start with you again.
Coach Van Horn, your program will be competing for the national championship for the second time in history this week. You've coached many talented players like Dallas Keuchel, who've never had the opportunity your team has had this week. Can you describe the emotions you feel knowing that you have the chance to win a national championship for your squad this year, while also representing so many former players who helped build your program?
You know, I don't know. I really haven't, you know, sat down and thought about, you know, how I feel yet. I think that'll be something that once summer moves on, win or lose, you know, that I'll reflect a little bit. I think it's, you know, it's special to be sitting up here, and I mentioned that at the beginning. There's a lot of, you know, former players that have gone through our program over the years that have made it to Omaha, but haven't had the opportunity to play for a championship. That it means a lot to them. It means a lot to our players, obviously. But just, you know, reflecting, you know, that'd be something that I'll do down the road. Just right now, just excited to be here and just want to make sure that, you know, when we when the first pitch is thrown tomorrow, that, you know, our guys are locked in and ready to go.
Okay, we have a question at the aisle here, Jim.
Pat, Andrew Sear, NCAA.com. Adley's had a phenomenal season, and here at the College World Series, he's been doing even better, arguably. Is there anything in particular in his game that you can pinpoint that's helped him kind of reach this next level? And at what point of the season or here did you really start to see it all kind of click for him?
Well, I think that one of the keys was that he played football last year. And, you know, when you don't play fall baseball and you're playing football, it makes it kind of tough to, you know, kind of develop some of the things when you come in. He's been a multi-sport athlete in high school. So I think the big key for him is just getting to the point where he was just a baseball player.
Okay. Matt?
Matt Jones, Arkansas Democrat Gazette for Dave. Can you talk about managing expectations, but managing all this downtime that you've had, you know, over the last couple of weeks, not playing a whole lot of games? Has there been anything that you've tried to do to get yourself out of the hotel? Anything that you've planned for the team to try to, you know, get them out and just, you know, get their mind off of, you know, just sitting around?
Well, you know, the end of the season for us was, you know, our last series was at Georgia, Thursday through Saturday. We go straight from Georgia to the SEC tournament. Bottom line, we were on the road for like 11 or 12 days straight. Went back, got to play at home a couple weeks in a row. We almost needed a little downtime, to be honest with you. And, you know, what we've done is practice has been shorter, you know, just an hour and 15 minutes working on some things, swinging the bats, taking some ground balls, not trying to reinvent everything. You know, as far as hanging around the hotel, you know, I think the guys have figured out how to stay busy. There's a lot going on. They can go eat. We trust them. You know, we haven't gone over the top. We're not following them around. We give them a curfew. And, you know, again, it's like I told them, if I got to follow you around here, then we shouldn't be here. And I don't think we would have been here. So, you know, I think, you know, we've got some guys that like to go fishing. They're going to go again today. So whatever keeps you loose. And some of the guys, I see them out walking around. I've seen them, a bunch of the guys at the games. We've been fortunate that, you know, we had to play 3 games instead of 5 or 4 or whatever it took. And so I just think it's been good for us at this time of the year to be able to just give these guys some time off. I mean, we didn't even practice yesterday. And I think when I told them that on the bus, they were relieved. And because whatever if we're feeling it, then we know they're feeling it. So I guess so there hasn't been a special plan or a lot of team events. We have a lot of parents here that are taking up, you know, that time, which has been great.
Okay, Clay.
Clay Henry, Hogs Illustrated. Dave, Blaine Kinsley's impact have y'all lifted while you're here, and kind of what you've seen with the team as far as strength? And I can see Blaine Knight has just bulked up a lot.
And for people that are seeing Blaine Knight for the first time, they're probably going, are you being facetious there or are you being serious? But our strength and conditioning coach has done a tremendous job with our program. It's his first year here, Blaine Kinsley, and, you know, I feel like I've got another coach. He's earned the players' respect. He knows that he's looking out for them, but he's also getting after them. And, you know, we've maintained our strength throughout the season, and I can't say that that's always the case. We have guys that like to work out and lift. To answer your question, yes, we worked out 3 or 4 times. Usually the way we've been handling it, example, we'll work out for an hour and 15 minutes at, say, Creighton, then we'll go in there and into their weight room across the street. And they all have their individual workouts and, you know, trying to maintain the strength that they have. You know, it's a long season. So it's been a great thing having Blaine in our program this year.
Tom?
Tom Murphy again. To both coaches, please. Through the course of the year, what kind of advanced scouting have you been able to pick up on the other? Seeing games on TV, doing stuff here? What kind of analysis have you had of the other teams? And to Coach Casey, could you discuss what your pitching plans might be?
Pat, you start, please.
Well, we don't really do a lot of advanced scouting on teams in the other leagues because you wouldn't know. I mean, I've seen them play on TV, like Dave was saying, you know, the luxury of so many games being televised now. It's fun and enjoyable for me anyway to watch other guys go through the stress of coaching a game while I'm sitting on the couch, you know, and you're sitting there going, you know, hey, that club's pretty good. Look at Dave, you know what? He's, you know, got a guy at second now with 2 outs. So, you know, really you don't, even when you got here, I never thought about another team in the other bracket because you had to get through the bracket. So I haven't done any of that. As far as our pitchings, we're going to practice today at 1 o'clock, and everybody know, or let's see, 1:30, and everybody knows that we've played 5 games, and we're gonna find out who feels good, and we've got a couple different options, that's for sure. But we're not in sequence, you know, because we got into the losers bracket, and therefore we can't stack it up the way we want to stack it up.
Dave?
Yeah, well, obviously, when it, you know, a couple days back when it came down to Mississippi State and Oregon State, you know, we know everything we probably need to know about Mississippi State. So, you know, just watched them a couple times in person, 6, 7 innings each game, just kind of looking for tendencies or pretty much things I already knew, you know, just seeing if that was the way I was seeing it on TV. And, you know, you can look over stats and if a team strikes out a lot, or if they take a lot of pitches, or do they sack bunt in certain situations? What pitches are they sitting on? I mean, you just try to do the best you can. Sometimes you can watch it on TV and you can pick up a little bit more in certain areas, maybe on the pitching part of it. Coach Johnson's done the best he can to tune into their hitters and try to figure a way to get them out, because those top 5 hitters there's not a better top 5 in the country. So, there's, if you call that advanced scouting, I don't know. We all have our services that we might, get all the spray charts and all that stuff, but, sometimes it's just about putting your eyes on guys and trying to figure it out.
Okay, Alec?
Alec Kevin with Shriners Hospitals for Children on behalf of Baseball America. Coach Casey, you've been in this position before. It's your 6th College World Series as a head coach at Oregon State, and it's your third time to play for the national championship in the finals. From your view in the dugout, does having that previous experience in these high-profile games help your team prepare for this week?
Well, I hope so. The one thing about these players, like Adley was saying, he was in 1st or 2nd grade when we played for the title back, a while back. So you hope that you have experience in the game, and you hope that being there helps them have some comfort that maybe where you're trying to guide them can get them to where they want to go. Ultimately, I think Dave and I would say the same thing. At this time of the year, our regimen of preparing them to play is complete, and they got to play the game, and it's how they play the game. Probably not going to get, a whole lot better today, and so therefore I think it becomes what they've regimented themselves to do, and I hope that any experience that I have could help guide them.
Okay, Eric, you got Mitch? Okay, I see it now.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Pat, to follow up on the question earlier about your pitching staff, having been through a year previously where you went through the losers bracket to reach the finals, can you speak to how difficult it is to keep that group fresh, and how it maybe compares to this year where, other than yesterday, your starters haven't worked a lot, and obviously Heimlich has only thrown 5 innings and is on 4 days rest tomorrow if you used him.
Yeah, the last time we did this thing was so much different because our starters gave us great starts, and then it was the decision as to, hey, can you throw, you threw 7 2/3 against Rice, Now we haven't got one quality start out of our 2 best guys in 4 starts for them, and so therefore, I'm being upfront. That's puzzling to me. I'm not positive how we got to that point to where we could continue to play when the freshman gives us the big start we've had. And so we just got to talk to those guys today and figure there's people that have started. Christian Chamberlain started the game before. Obviously, Luke started a bunch. Fim started a bunch. I don't think there's any one of those guys that couldn't start the game, but I think it comes down to which one of those guys feels like, that he could go 5 or get us 5 or something at that point in time. I mean, I think when you get in the loser's bracket and then you double up, and your opponent doesn't have to, they went in succession, you really can't concern yourself with anything other than who's the best option.
Go with Eric.
Eric Olson with the Associated Press. Dave, mostly you on this one, but also Pat, if you'd want to chime in a little bit as well. Oregon State has won 109 of 127 games the last 2 years. Could you just comment to the level of accomplishment that is?
Well, are you asking me? Okay, I'll start out from my perspective. I mean, it's incredible. Like I said, they play in a great conference. West Coast players, very skilled players, and to win that many ball games, it's almost amazing to me because I know how hard it is to win, and it's not easy. And we talk about it all the time. I mean, how are they doing it? And it's not like they're in Houston where they can just run down the street and grab players. I mean, they're going all over the place, and they're doing it with kids from their region, and hats off to them. It's been incredible to watch from the outside.
I think we ran into a pretty good group of kids, and the ball bounces your way, and last year I think it was, we won 15 or 16 one-run games. I mean, you got to have, you got to have the good fortune on your side. And last year, certainly a lot of balls, like I said, one-run game after one-run game. So, those guys, a pretty good group of guys, play hard, like to play the game, all the things that got both clubs here. And ultimately, nobody cares how many games you win unless you win the last one. So, anyway, it's a good group of young men.
Okay, Mike in the back.
This is for Dave. Mike LaPresti, NCAA.com back here. You have a chance to be the 5th different SEC program to win a national championship, I think, in 10 years. When you play a full schedule in a league like that, what's it do to prepare you for June? What's it do to prepare you for a moment like this?
Well, it definitely prepares you. We talk about it all the time. This year, and this is my 16th year in the SEC, and it was the deepest the league's been. I mean, there were no weekends off. I mean, you got Mississippi State that's this close to get to the championship series, and they came in 4th or 5th place in the Western Division. It was just one weekend after another, and there was never a break. I mean, Kentucky had as much talent and was as good as anybody in the conference going into the season or going into league play, and it didn't go good for them. And it makes you resilient, number one. It teaches you how to prepare for what's about to happen every weekend. And if you don't show up or you have a bad weekend, you'll get hammered. And that's kind of what happened to us at Mississippi State. We didn't play very good, and they were in last place at the time, and they beat us 3 straight in less than 24 hours because we had to move Sunday's game up to Saturday due to weather coming in, and we limped out of there. But it definitely prepares you for just about anything that's coming your way. And obviously, we haven't seen some of these pictures or whatever, and that's really, that's the only difference because you don't see the arms sometimes, but you've seen something like them. But as far as just the game itself and the competition, it definitely gets you ready.
Okay, down here.
Bob Lundeberg, Corvallis Gazette Times. Pat, what's been the key to the success that you guys have had hitting with 2 outs pretty much throughout the entire NCAA tournament?
Boy, Bob, I don't know the answer to that specifically. I know we've done a really good job of it. I would prefer that they would start that a little sooner before we get 2 outs. Maybe we could score a few more runs, but I don't know. Just things got rolling, and we've kind of had a thing going, and we certainly, we were handled last night after the 1 inning. Their arm dominated us, so we got to do a much better job, but we've certainly been really good with 2 outs.
Okay, Matt.
Matt Jones, for Dave, it seems like all the Cornhusker fans that we run into here say I'm pulling for Dave Van Horn. What do you think about the response that you get from them when you come back here?
Well, the response has been great, and it seems like it's gotten better through time. When we came here in 2004, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if they were still mad at me for leaving or what, because it was only a couple years out. But ever since really, in 2009, it got better, and 2012 it was good, and it just seems like that the longer we've been here, the more we got to talk to some of the former fans or some of the, I guess they've been fans forever, but just to talk to, the Husker fans. I mean, they've been tremendous to me and my family, and I've said it many a time. The 5 years I spent here were huge. I mean, we took that program from basically last place in the Big 12, and everybody kind of thought, hey, you're just a football school, to, very respectable. And then at the end, we were the best team the last couple of years, and it was really hard to leave, to be honest with you, just because of all the success. And there was only one place I would go, and that was Arkansas. So I'm thankful that they've been so kind.
Pat, Nick Krupke with Fox 12 in Portland. What's the sense of pride that you have that you're back here on this stage where, maybe 05, 06, 07, people said, well, that's fun, that's cute, that's fluky, but now people expect Oregon State to be here?
Yeah, I think that's a tribute to our players and our program over the years. I think coaches are much more excited for their players than they are for themselves, because that's what you do every day. It'd be like being a teacher and you go, you want to see guys move on and people move on and be successful, and that's the way it is here. Guys come to college to play in the College World Series, get an education, do those things, and ultimately, if they can do that and experience that, it makes you feel good. So, I have a lot of pride in the guys I get to represent.
Okay, Haley.
Haley Lewis, KZI in Oregon. Coach, just wanted to ask you about every time we talk with the players after the game, they say how much of a family this ball club is. And it seems that Beaver Nation is kind of a part of that family, traveling almost 1,400 miles here. Can you talk about how important it is to have those guys support your team?
Well, I think it's really important. And, the great state of Oregon has, embraced us. And, that's been going on for a long time in the sport of baseball. And, we are extremely thankful for those guys who travel that far, take the time. I think it's always tough when you lose in Omaha, how people feel. But, they've been here in force, they've been here strong, they've stayed with us. And so I think it's very important to that family atmosphere we've created there. And they're a big part of that.
Okay, John.
John Niatawa with the Omaha World Herald. Dave, I think you first brought Arkansas here in 04, and Pat, you guys broke through a year later. I wonder if you guys can look back. What did the first trip to Omaha do to change? I mean, did it change things, expectations, exposure, maybe internally, an added drive? What did you notice that was different after coming to Omaha for the first time?
Dave, you start.
Dave didn't have far.
You got here first.
Well, when we got, back in 2004 was my second year at Arkansas, and they hadn't been in 15 years. So it was big for our program, and it helped. It kicked our program. It kick-started a little bit. It helped us probably get some recruits. It just felt like that was the year that a lot of things went our way. I mean, in 2004, we were picked 11th in the SEC out of 12 teams. We won the league. That's how crazy it was. It was just one of those years. I thank God all the time for that year, let me tell you that. So, I mean, our program, when we got here in 04, it took off. We started getting the guys. We started getting guys out of Oklahoma and Missouri and Texas, and obviously the kids out of the state of Arkansas. And we were pretty good when we were here in 09. We had Dallas Keuchel and Drew Smiley was just starting to pitch, and we had a couple other big leaguers on that team. And at the time we didn't know what type of careers they were going to have. But looking back, it's like Pat said, it's so rewarding to see what your players are doing. And then 12, we were good. We just couldn't hit. We could really pitch, and we were one game away from getting to the championship series. We lost 2 tight games, a 1-run game and a 2-run game to South Carolina. And then in 15, we just managed to get here. And then this year we felt like it was different. But when you get to Omaha for the first time in a long time with your program, you just appreciate it. And there's no doubt that it really, really jump-started us.
Pat?
For us, it changed everything. People may not know that the conference didn't become a whole until '99. So baseball in the Northwest didn't exist for the rest of the world, and the Pac-6, the 2 Arizona schools, UCLA, USC, Stanford, Cal, they didn't want to come together. And so we did in '99. That was the president's decision, and we had no opportunity. We were 38-14 or something, and had swept UCLA in non-conference in '98, swept Arizona in non-conference, went to USC and won at 3, so we're 7-2 against the South. We don't even go to regional, because we couldn't RPI out. So it didn't exist. So when we went to the World Series in '05, I mean, it changed absolutely everything. People didn't believe that baseball existed outside of certain areas in the country. If you're in the SEC, they believe baseball, every team there is worthy of being a World Series champion. And that was the same way in the six-pack. Us up in North, they'd throw us a bone every once in a while and let us play them. And so that it changed everything. It changed the way kids came to the North. It changed our stadium, our fan base, everything for us.
We'll have time for one more question, and we'll give it to Tom here.
Pat, I'm wondering what you've seen of Arkansas since you've been here, what you think of their pitching and the fact they're set up with their normal rotation on regular rest. And also, Stephen Kwan, he played last night, played defense. Is he good to go?
Well, what I've seen of Arkansas is what everybody else has seen. Pretty darn good. I mean, I don't know if I've seen a more complete team. Pitching, defense, speed, power. You know, people think we got power. I think we've hit 60 home runs. I think they've hit 98. You know, just a terrific team, well coached, disciplined, you name it. There's not any weakness that they have on their team. As far as Stephen Kwan, don't know. You know, last night I probably allowed my trust in the players get to me because he wanted to get an at-bat and go in the game, and he was 100%, and it was probably against my better judgment that I allowed that to happen, so thank God nothing was hit to him. But he said he was 100% last night. That's all I can tell you. He went up, ran in the tunnel, he hit before the game. You know, we'll see. We'll see how he does at practice. I sure hope he's healthy. I sure hope he can play. He's a heck of a player. He's a big part of our club. We'd certainly like to have him in the lineup.
Guys, thank you. Congratulations, and we'll see you tomorrow night.